Welcome everyone to Latino Vote TV. This is our premiere episode. We're here in Austin, Texas at the Bob Bullock Museum at the TAMACC Legislative Reception. We have here the president of TAMACC. So, Mr. President of the TAMACC, what do you see happening today and what's the purpose of this whole function?
The main purpose is that we honor the state reps and the senators that serve Texas.
Fabulous. And usually at these functions, what usually happens when everybody gets together and puts their heads together here?
Well, keep in mind that we have people from all over the state here today, chambers especially from all over the state. So it's a good opportunity to network with those folks that represent us at the Capitol.
Fantastic. So pretty much it helps to mix, get things together, start networking, and making some things move, correct?
Well, keep in mind also that TAMACC is the largest Hispanic chamber in Texas. So it's a good opportunity for the legislators to meet some of the business owners that are here in Texas.
Now, let's talk about TAMACC a little bit. What is the history on TAMACC? How long have you been together? And what's been going on then and now?
It was founded in 1975. A lot has changed since then.
Let's not forget about who's right next to us here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know both of you guys have a lot of experience with what's happening with TAMACC, and I want to get it all together. Tell me about yourself and what you've been doing.
I am in public safety. I was a fire assistant chief in Houston and a fire chief up in the Dallas area, and now I do medical responses with disaster response. And I have a business, and it's an Hispanic-owned and minority-owned business, and so consequently, TAMACC was a perfect outlet for me to be able to network and expand my business across the state of Texas. It facilitates for a lot of the Hispanic organizations and a lot of Hispanic businesses the opportunity to network and to expand into the government and private businesses. And so this is...
it's a great platform then.
It's a tremendous. And my background is I've been involved in so many organizations as the Parlimentarian that by default I became the Parlimentarian for TAMACC. And so
that's where you're at now, right?
That's the function that I provide here. But one of the beautiful parts of this organization is it does not isolate to Democrat or Republican. It's business.
Across the board.
Across the board, whatever is available and whatever is beneficial to the Hispanic community, regardless of what political arena you come from or your economic background, there's opportunities with TAMACC and with the Hispanic chambers to make some money.
Now, would you concur with that?
Absolutely. You know, we have an organization that represents 500,000 Hispanic-owned businesses, and we represent...
Wait a minute, let me get this number again.
500,000 Hispanic-owned businesses in Texas.
That's a lot of Hispanic businesses.
That's correct. And so we are the chamber that is the voice for Hispanic business in Texas.
Great. So you've been residing as president for how long, and what's your background?
I actually have been the chairman for almost a year now.
Okay.
And my background is construction, which is kind of unusual. Most folks that are on the TAMACC board are not in construction, so I'm kind of unique.
Great, great. And your full name and title is once again?
My name is Mendez, and I'm the chairman of TAMACC.
Okay, perfect. Now, talking about TAMACC, we were talking earlier, what would you say, like you said, it was established back in the 70s. What has happened between then and now? Give us a little history, like you were explaining, about what TAMACC's been doing, what it was like when it started, and where it is, what's it accomplishing, and with the things it's pretty much doing now.
It was actually formed prior to me being born, but that's okay.
We won't go there right now.
It was formed in 1975.
Okay.
So I'm
were
lying.
You born there,
I'm lying a little bit.
I was just maybe 2 or 3 years old at the time.
Right. Okay.
But it has come a long way. Back then, there wasn't very many Hispanic chambers.
Right, it was just starting.
It was just getting started. So our role, in addition to representing the Hispanic business owners, we tried to help the chambers that are forming all over the state of Texas. Currently, there's about 30 Hispanic chambers around the state.
I didn't realize that.
And obviously, there's going to be a lot more coming soon.
Right, so you're saying the formulation of the businesses with the chambers are just exponentially growing, and so there's more coming on the way. What do you see as one of the big economic developments that are happening across the state? What are the things that you are sort of aware of that things are starting to pop in the state of Texas?
Well, obviously the oil and gas industry is always big in Texas, and it continues to grow. I don't see that downturning anytime soon.
Are you talking about the fracking?
The fracking and everything else related to oil and gas.
Awesome. Now, I understand Austin's got some things stirring up here as well. I think they're talking about Formula One.
Formula One, it's a great thing for Austin, the state of Texas. It's going to bring millions of dollars to Austin, and I think it's going to benefit everybody.
I think it's going to benefit the whole state. They're talking about it's going to be something rather like like the Super Bowl every year for the next 10 years.
There's opportunities for the businesses of all sorts. Obviously, the Austin is making sure that a large percentage is being contracted out to minority, women-owned businesses. The beauty that I see is, to answer your questions, one of the things that I see is there's a large influx of Hispanic-owned businesses that are doing good. But that's the synergism of the organization like the TAMACC. The second part of that is coalitions. There's opportunities to perform coalitions with the black business owners, with the Asian business owners, and with women-owned organizations, which there's a lot of them cropping up. Combining our forces and our energy together can only benefit all the organizations as a whole.
Raul, I'm glad he mentioned coalitions, Ben. Here's the big question while we're here. Do you think that is going to help the Latino voters to come out and vote and register so that they realize that it's time for us to come together, Ben?
It's always been a problem for the Hispanic community in getting the vote out. Anything that spurs the growth in the people that participate in the voting process is a good thing. And one thing I can say that honestly does help that is having business owners participate in the political process. And that's why we're here today. The business owners are here today to meet the state reps and the state senators so they can network and let them know what's going on in the business community.
Fantastic. So we're trying to stimulate the representatives as well and the actual politicians to get involved to help the business people to understand it's very critical for us to get out and vote, right?
The voting process, there's other organizations, unfortunately there's other organizations that are taking the spearhead, the lead in getting the vote out. One of the things that we're going to find out as we want to stimulate the Hispanic community as far as getting the votes is that there's going to have to be a larger umbrella that oversees all the smaller organizations to try to organize and facilitate what they're trying to accomplish in a larger sense. It's that if I've got 12 organizations and each one is doing something independent, if there's an oversight organization similar to TAMACC is with the Hispanic chambers in these cities, then it facilitates everybody working together to get more people registered, to get more people that are doing the block walking or the phone calling. That is the essence of how we're going to get more Hispanic votes involved.
Basically what you're saying is doing like kind of what TAMACC's doing already for the business genre and the economic situation, but to do that for everyone as a coalition to help unify so we get them to vote as a group so that they understand that we can push things forward and everybody can get out there and really get excited again to get patriotic and start voting. Right, Ben?
That's correct. There's not really one issue that is bringing out the voters at this time. If we can find that one issue that will spark the interest of the community, that would go a long way in November.
So basically, a lot of things I hear, in the papers, on different networks, on cable, they say, oh, the Latinos are Democratic, oh, the Latinos are Republicans. Are we letting these bipartisan views divide us, or do you think that we just do not know exactly how important things are, or won't know what to do to get the vote out?
There's both sides of the story here. We have the Democrats that have one agenda. We have the Republicans that have another agenda. It's important that both of these parties have businesses in mind because businesses are the backbone for what's going on in our economy.
We're talking about jobs, right, Ben?
We're talking about jobs. We're talking about contracts. We're talking about anything related to business matters.
Would you concur with that, Raul?
Absolutely. Right now, it's the TAMACC version of an organization to get the vote out does not exist. We have the voter registration people that have an agenda. We have another group that's trying to get registered voters as far as block walking, or everybody's got their own little agenda. Whenever there's a concilio of a sort that comes together that can become the TAMACC for that function, then the voter turnout for the Hispanic community will rise. If we can get it to 25 to 30%, we've arrived.
So basically we're only at, what, 10, 11%?
And the greatest, let me just, from my stat,
right.
I'm from Houston. There's over 1 million Hispanics in Houston. At the best time, the most we've ever been able to get out is 11%, 100,000 people. the goal in a setting such as Houston should be 25 to 30%. The only way you're going to do that is to continue doing what we're doing, but do it almost like on steroids, where everybody is committing to one of those functions. So when you're doing the voter turnout, for example, for block walking, everybody does block walking. When you do the calling the phone, everybody does it, so that you accomplish a heck of a lot more doing synergism than you will by yourself.
In other words, instead of divided, we're together, we're on a coalition, and we're doing it in the hundreds of thousands, except for 50,000 here, 50,000 there. Would you agree with that, Ben?
I would say that another aspect of that is we need to have candidates that have money. So the only way they're going to have money is if the business community gets involved in the political races. It takes money to run a good campaign.
So basically, actually not talk about it, but throw money in it so that you're supporting businesses, supporting the whole voting process, so that we are definitely have a strong, unified group of voters that have something to say as a whole, not divided, right?
A candidate has to spread their message, and the only way they're going to spread their message is with money.
Right. So united we stand, divided we fall apart.
That's correct.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you for all your time.